set for the Anthony Simone Classic at King Speedway in Hanford this weekend to kick things off for the NARC 410 Sprint Series. We talked to his son, who will be competing there in both Western Race Saver Series action as well as with the 410. Mauro Simone, he's next here on Getting Up to Speed. This broadcast is brought to you by Meat Freaks Jerky Club. Get the best jerky the world has to offer straight to your door by visiting meatfreaksjerkyclub.com. Pick your box and plan, tell them where to ship, and receive and enjoy. Log on to meatfreaksjerky.com and use promo code SPEED. Are you looking for bookkeeping, payroll, or income tax services? Then check out the folks at For You Simple Bookkeeping. They are a licensed tax preparer throughout the entire United States. For more information, click on the link in the description. Race fans, don't miss the return of the Anthony Simone Classic at King Speedway on Saturday, April 8th. Napa Auto Parts will present the NARC 410 Series and feed local stars such as Hanford's very own DJ Netto, two-time NARC champion Dominic Scelzi from Fresno, and young stars such as Oakley's Dylan Bloomfield and Corey Day of Clovis. Tickets are $20 for general admission. Seniors, military, students are $15, and online purchases can be made at racekingspeedway.com. Pit gates open at 1, front gates at 4, hot laps at 5, with racing at 6. Be sure to take advantage once the front gates open to visit Pete's Pub, where there will be specials on beverages and food before the races start. For more information on the NARC 410 Sprint Series, visit narc410.com. Well, with me is Mauro Simone. He is out of Fresno, and Mauro is the son of Anthony Simone, whose race will be competed on April 8th at King Speedway in Hanford with the NARC 410 Series, the third annual Anthony Simone Classic. Mauro, first of all, great to have you on here, and it's great to see this tradition continues in your dad's honor.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I appreciate the NARC series, Peter Murphy, everybody at King Speedway that's going to put this race on. Me and my family, we really appreciate everything that everybody's done for this race. All the sponsors, the whole series catering performance. This brings our family together, and everybody that's helped us get where my dad was in racing, where we are now. It's a great way to bring everybody together. It's great race. NARC's putting up 10,000 to win. My dad's been around. I mean, he's been racing NARC since 1978. So this is perfect for the series. Back when they did non-wing, when I heard they're going to do non-wing after the wing feature, I thought that was perfect. Perfect race. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a Mr. Excitement race. Go ahead.
I was going to say, no doubt, your dad was an exciting character when it came to the racing scene.
Oh yeah, he was. That's an understatement. People did say that he brought the people to the stands. He was did not care. He was pedal to the metal. He was pedal to the metal. Catering performance. Anybody who's been around NARC, my dad's been around since NARC was formed. My dad started racing back in 1978, and ran NARC throughout the years. Pavement, well, actually a lot of pavement. He was bigger on that than on dirt. But my dad's been around racing for a long time.
And what do you remember most? What were some of your guys' greatest memories going to the racetrack or even in the race shop together? Any particular events that stand out?
Oh man, every moment with my dad was stood out. He was a one of a kind type of guy. You can't really meet anybody like him nowadays. And I look forward every day going to the shop, working with him, teaching me new things every day. No matter if it's the right or wrong way. we're together and having fun doing it and showing how he does things, and just learning from him was great. I missed every moment from him, and I mean it's developed to who I am today as a person, and I'm glad that I had his knowledge to get me on my own track. He was a Smart man. Love my dad.
And you mentioned he brought excitement to the racing. He brought fans to the races. Do you remember as a kid or as a young man, the throngs of people that would show up at the pit area just to shake his hand or get an autograph? What was that like?
Oh my gosh! I said that's my dad. Yeah, no, he would always have people all around him all the time after the races. I'd look at other people. I'd look at the winner's circle. I mean, the winner, and nobody would be around him. They'd be around my dad. I always thought that was pretty crazy, and made me realize that he really put an impact on the fans.
What was it like? Obviously, you've started your own racing career. What was it like with him helping you kind of get that ball rolling? That had to have been a special moment.
It had its ups and downs. Overall, it was great. Developing our relationship. I mean, not just me being father and son, going from father and son to being best buddies and just doing everything together and doing all the decisions together. At first, we're kind of hard working with each other. We're two different people, so it was interesting chemistry to bring to the table, and kind of just started off rough and kind of brought things together and formed our relationship to what it was before he passed.
Yeah, and you've competed in the Anthony Simone every year. Is that the case for 2023?
Yes. I have a tribute card that I'm gonna do a few memorial laps for him. I appreciate Peter for letting me do that, for letting me race this series, the NARC community. My whole team, we all appreciate it, and my family.
Awesome. Yeah, I remember last year you did double duty, right? You ran in the Western Race Savers and then also in the 410, correct?
Yeah, I was doing double duty. It was very interesting. The racers who do that, they're dedicated. They put a lot of work into it.
Yeah. And I assume you're just going to do the wing portion, or are you going to take your chances with the non-wing part once everything's over?
Well, it all depends on how the main event goes. Well, if I make it to the main event, and if I finish the main event, then possibly do the non-wing. Never done it before, especially in a 410. So
sure,
should be interesting.
Why not? Why not at your dad's race, right?
Yeah. Well, nothing to do. When I first started racing my dad, I told him I want to race a micro, and he said, we'll just put you in the new 305 series.
Yeah, no doubt. And then what's your plans beyond your dad's race? Are you going to try and run a couple more times this year, or what's that looking like?
I'm going to try to carry on my dad's 10 number and his legacy on throughout the Hanford and Tulare schedule, and hopefully some Watsonville races.
Okay.
Depending on the weather, I'm really not too sure what's going to happen here.
Yeah, and are you going to be dedicated to 410s or 360s, or do a little bit of both?
I'm going to do a couple 305 races. I like to support that series. I grew up with that series and a lot of good people, so I'm going to try to do that. A few 360 races, and I really want to learn the 410 and focus on the 410. Try to eventually run with the NARC.
Sure.
NARC series.
Sure, that's an awesome goal, and obviously you're quick on the way to achieving that, and it's no small feat to make a main event with that series, and you've done so a couple times and actually competed in a feature.
Yeah. I was lucky enough to make a couple of feature events and race with the guys all my heroes, all the guys I dreamed of racing with, and I never thought I'd be racing with. So I'm stepping stones on hopefully a good career.
What was the transition like from the Race Saver 305 engine to going to we'll just say it, a full-blown 410? Was that a pretty eye-opening experience?
Oh, absolutely. I raced a 360 a few times. Got the feel of that, but going to the 410, and it's insanely different. Through the Race Saver, it's pretty easy to learn, pretty easy to drive. 410 is erratic all over the place. You really got to use the brakes. really got to be smooth. Every decision you make's got to be precise, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah. And when you've went back to run some race saver stuff, is that you find that the 410 experience or the 360 experience, does that seem to help you a little bit, just getting some more laps with something a little bit more giddy up?
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier to run the lower motors, and that's what I like about it. Is that, I mean, it's a lot to learn, but when you want to step down to a 360 or even a 305, it makes it a lot easier. But the problem is with going on from a 410 to a 305, it makes it just feel boring, like you're driving
Yeah.
a street car.
Yeah, slow down like your foot's about to go through the floor plan because you think,
Yeah,
man, what's
and you're
going on?
mad you can't catch up to the guy in front of you. You put your full throttle on you. Come on, I just wish you had a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, is there an anchor tied to me? What's going on here?
Yeah,
Well, it's really cool that you've had, outreach still, and obviously your dad has left such a great big legacy that will never be forgotten, and that's got to make your whole family proud.
absolutely. I hear new stories every day about my dad's racing experience outside of racing. Every crazy, heartfelt moment that everybody's felt, from the fans to the other racers that's raced with him. Every story, everything brings joy to our family. We love to hear that, and that's why we like to have this race going on. It really brings all those things together and brings everybody together.
No doubt, no doubt, and I'm sure makes it feel as if he's with you guys right here and now. Just through other people, you get that. It's kind of a tricky thing. It's not happy tears or sadness. It's something bigger and greater.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're enjoying his memories and enjoying the staple he's left on the racing community. And we love this race, and that's why we love Hanford, King Speedway, and this race.
Of all the people that have came to you with a story, fan, competitor, what would you say is one that stands out as a really touching one or a really funny one? Is there anything comes to mind?
Man, I need to. I wish I had a book of it.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, it's tough to choose which one. Probably my favorite ones. There's a lot of them. I can't really think of a lot of them, but the one that's on the top of my mind is my dad and Brent Kading. They used to be really good buddies, and they used to hang out all the time in the '80s, run NARC together, go to the Dirt Cup, and one Dirt Cup they like to do food fights while they're driving on the side of the road all the way up to Dirt Cup, and they usually throw all kinds of food, sandwiches, drinks, whatever. Like to play road games, and one time my dad, he decided that one of his crew guys, he's going to take the wheel, he's going to jump from his trailer to the Kading's trailer, and then he's going to climb on top, and then get in the back of their hauler at the time, get in their ISIS, and start throwing all their food at them.
Oh no! Like a Western train robbery or something.
Yeah, I can only imagine what it looked like on the highway.
But so this actually happened.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
it wasn't.
That's getting the Kading.
Oh my gosh! So it wasn't a thing of, you know what, we should do this. It was, we're gonna do it, and he did it.
Oh yeah, I mean, they had all kinds of crazy antics, things I can't even say in this interview.
Oh sure, yeah. I was gonna say we need a disclaimer there. So.
Yeah. Oh no, I wish. You have to have some of the racers interview this and say some of their stories. I bet you some of those guys from the '80s they could tell you some interesting stuff.
Bud told me one last year, something about a motorcycle, and I can't. It doesn't come to mind right now. Like, gosh. I don't know. It involved a motorcycle. I'm going to have to get down to it and have that one rehearsed.
Oh, man. There's many stories of him on my motorcycle and things you wouldn't believe.
Why do I want to think it had something to do with driving through, not like running through the side of a building or anything, but like driving it inside a building?
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, back in the 80s, here in Fresno, there used to be this bar that my dad would bring Brent Kading and all the Kading crew too after the races, or to the races, depending on what how they're feeling that week.
Sure.
Yeah, they would go to this bar. I forgot the name of it, but they would hang out there. And my dad was a wild guy, and sometimes he'd drive his motorcycle in the bar and just have a ruckus in there.
Oh man, holy stuff you can't do these days. You'd be you'd be on America's Most Wanted.
Yeah, he lived the life of a '80s action hero. I'd tell you that. That's a good way to sum it up.
Yeah, there you go. And what was his Bobby Gerald used to call him Antone Simone or something like that.
Yeah.
I remember first time I saw him at Trophy Cup one time was like all these guys are, oh man, there he is. He's still racing. There's Simone. Just this. What I remember so much about it was a black wing and and correct me if I'm wrong, a yellow 10. And when I say a yellow 10, this thing is like huge. Like you could be blind as a bat and still see the numbers on the side of this thing. And Bobby, here's the guy everybody came to see. It's Antone Simone out of Fresno, California, race fans.
Yeah, he wanted to make sure you saw that 10. He wanted it nice and big. That's what he always told me.
Yeah. At first when it was rolling in, I'm like, is this Terry Gray? Like, what's going on here? And then, nope, even better than Terry Gray. You're in for a show. So, but even in those days, this is like 10 years ago when I'm saying I saw him at Trophy Cup first, he still was having fun. He was still enjoying himself, which that can be lost very easily, especially when, you're not making shows, you're not winning as much as you were.
Yeah, no, he just did it for the fun of it. He just loved racing. I mean, he was planning on racing the year before he died. Mm-hmm. He was planning on racing the NARC series, probably I'd say on the coast and the Central Valley, all the NARC races. I mean, he had no plans of quitting.
Yeah.
He was a 18-year-old in a 7-year-old man's body.
Yeah, exactly. Age is just a number. Yeah. And so tell me a little bit about his pavement foray. Was that I assume sprint car, right?
Yeah, he did a lot of sprint car and super modified.
Okay.
He was better in the pavement. He was really good in the pavement. He did a lot of wing and non-wing sprint cars. He would go to Phoenix for the Copper World Classic. That was his big race he would go to every year. And he you set a record there in 1987. Won a lot of shows at Madera. I think it's Orange County Speedway.
Okay.
And Stockton. Yeah, he liked the pavement a lot more, but due to the popularity of pavement going down, he didn't do it a lot in these last few years.
Yeah. No, that's really cool that he was able to do. I thought that I saw him in like a national sprint car annual in a photograph perhaps of him running. It might have been the Copper World that it was talking about, but yeah, no, I was thinking that it was something other than sprint car racing that he did, but that's so cool that you were able to spend so much time with him. And also what's cool, if not even cooler, is that you're able to honor him still, and everyone is able to honor him in such a loving and remarkable way.
Absolutely. I think the NARC series, King Speedway, all the fans, for letting this race happen, and for my crew and for my family to help bring this on for you guys.
Yes. Well, Mauro, for people that are making everything possible for you to compete at the Anthony Simone, as well as beyond that, anybody particularly you want to thank real fast?
Yeah, I want to thank Southern Pacific Farms, Central California Fencing, Harvest Supply, and Simone Fruit Company.
Awesome. Well, you mentioned something, and we just might have to make it happen. We might have to collect all these stories in a book, and and maybe put a parental advisory on it a little bit. But I think it's worth it's worth preserving and treasuring.
Oh, absolutely.
So we'll definitely be in touch.
So right on. Right on.
Well, I appreciate you giving me the time, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you down there this season in the Central Valley, and we'll definitely have to catch up.
Thank you, Ben.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to this latest episode of Getting Up to Speed with me, Ben Dethridge. We hope you enjoyed this program. We hope also that you hit the subscribe button and the like button, as that really helps things out, spreads things out. Be sure and share as well on social media so that more people can listen to these great interviews and from these great drivers. Getting Up to Speed is a production of Highside Racing Promotions. For more information, you can check it all out on Facebook at Highside Promotions.